Hey friends, I hope your week is off to a great start. Today I'm going to be trying out Bon Appetit's recipe for pumpkin scones with cinnamon butter. So I'm a huge fan of scones because they're super versatile. They're perfect for breakfast, but they're equally good for an afternoon snack with coffee or tea. You could even enjoy scones for dessert, just plain or topped with ice cream. So they're super versatile, but they also have a terrible reputation for being dry, tough, and kind of like hockey pucks. So I'm really curious to see if Bon Appetit's been able to figure out a recipe that resolves all of these issues. So I do these Bon Appetit recipe tests every single Wednesday. If you like this one, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up and click subscribe. Without any further ado, let's see how this goes. As always, I'll leave a link to the recipe and ingredient quantities in the description box below. I'm getting started as I typically do by portioning out all of the dry ingredients. And what's interesting here is that sugar is actually being used as a dry ingredient in this recipe. You've probably noticed that this recipe calls for quite a few different spices, and I know that spices can get pretty expensive pretty quickly. So the good news is that none of the spices in this recipe are really kind of special or unique. So if you're going to be doing a lot of baking during the fall and winter, you will absolutely get your money's worth out of the spices. If you're not going to be doing a lot of baking this fall and winter, you could probably sub all of these spices for the store-bought pumpkin pie spice. The downside there is obviously that you're not going to have control over the spice levels, so the balance of the recipe will be a little bit off, but on the plus side, it will save you a lot of money. So next I'm moving on to prepping the wet ingredients. So one thing that gets a little frustrating in trying out all of these different recipes is that I buy so much buttermilk and I never need to use it for anything. So in this recipe, for example, I only need a quarter cup. So what I'm going to do is create a playlist of recipes that I've tested that call for buttermilk. That way, if you want to try out this one or any of those other recipes, you'll find a lot of creative ways to use buttermilk and avoid food waste. If you're making this recipe in the fall, you'll probably be able to find cranberries in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. If you're making it any other time of year, check the freezer section. This method is something I haven't tried before, and I know this is kind of a standby for a lot of people. So I'm grating the cold butter on my box grater into the dry ingredients and then tossing it through the flour to get the butter coated so that it doesn't stick together. I actually really liked this method for bringing together the dough. It worked probably equally well to my pastry cutter. Certainly if you had a food processor, that would be much faster, but this is definitely a solid choice. So once you've got all of the butter evenly incorporated into the flour, we can go ahead and add in the chopped cranberries and then give them a little toss in the flour using your hands or a spatula. You just want to make sure that each of the cranberry pieces is evenly coated in flour, and this will prevent them from sticking to each other. So once you introduce the wet ingredients to your dry ingredients, you want to mix as little as possible while still ensuring that the mixture is homogeneous and there are no pockets of unincorporated flour remaining. So a lot of times people think of scones as being really tough and dry, and the toughness comes from overworking the dough while the moisture is present because that's developing the gluten proteins. Once it's looking good, you can go ahead and turn it out onto a well-floured surface. And again, you can see I'm not kneading the dough. I'm not trying to overwork it. I'm just pressing it down into a disc, making sure it's a circle. It's roughly 1.5 inches thick, roughly 8 inches diameter. And we're just cutting this into 8 triangles. You want to get them as close to even as possible because if they're different sizes, they're going to bake at different rates. And again, an overbaked scone is going to be tough and dry. So even scones, even baking, so that's your goal. So once these have been in the freezer for a while, they're going to be firm to the touch. You can then transfer them to your baking tray, brush them with some more buttermilk, sprinkle them with raw sugar or demerara sugar, and they're going to pop this into your preheated oven until they're golden brown, they've puffed up a little bit, and mine were in for about 27 minutes. So you'll probably want to let your scones cool down just a bit before enjoying them. So this is the perfect time to make some flavored butter. So making flavored butter is super easy. You just take your room temperature butter and add whatever flavorings you need. So in this case, we're doing cinnamon with a little bit of maple syrup for sweetness and a little bit of salt to enhance the flavors. And then I'm whisking it with my electric beaters. You could do this with just a fork or a hand whisk. It really doesn't matter, but after about 3 minutes, you're gonna have a really fluffy mixture, and this is absolutely delicious on the scones. If you have leftovers, it's perfect for pancakes or waffles too. So the pumpkin scones are out of the oven. They've been cooling on their baking tray for a little over an hour, so they are down to room temperature. And I think they look pretty great. So the surface is nice and golden brown. You can see there's a little bit of sparkle from that demerara sugar. The profile view looks nice and puffy, so we got a good amount of lift, so I don't expect these will be overly dense. And then the bottom is nice and golden as well. So overall, I'm super happy with the appearance of these, and I'm really excited to dig in and see what's going on inside. So do a little break here for you. So it's kind of flaking apart, seems a little bit tender and layery. The inside has a nice presence of cranberries in here. The pumpkin scent is very subtle. You do get a little bit of that warm spice smell. All right, let's see. Really nice texture. Very moist and tender. This is so delicious you really don't even need anything with it, but that's not gonna stop me from trying out the cinnamon butter. A nice smattering of some cinnamon butter on here. So good. So I'm really happy with these scones. The flavor here is really well balanced. It's kind of a warm spice combined with bursts of cranberry and just a subtle note of pumpkin in the background. So if you're not a huge pumpkin fan, I think you would still actually like these scones. Plus, they're super tender and moist inside, which is very atypical of scones. So this is definitely something that I would recommend you giving a try. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up and click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.